So last week I showed you exactly how to trade every single London session using my strategy. You're going to trade every single London session this week and make money out of it. So starting off, we were looking for Asia session to accumulate, make the high or the low, and then move in the opposite direction. The entries, we were either going with a 1 minute change of character or a 5 minute or 15 minute inversion fair value gap. You could have done the exact same thing this week and seen results like this. I'm going to show you exactly how, but first of all, let me show you how the strategy works for anyone who didn't see the first video. There's going to be two trading sessions that are important to us. The first one is the Asia session, which starts at 1 AM and finishes at 7 AM. And the reason the Asia session is important is because once it finishes, it's going to leave an Asia high and an Asia low, which is going to be used as our liquidity points. After 7 AM, this takes us into the London session where we're actually looking to trade. Step one of the strategy is taking the Asia high or the Asia low. That is what we're waiting for in order to get into a trade. As soon as we take the Asia high or the Asia low, we are aiming for the opposite direction. So if we take the Asia low, we're going to be aiming for the Asia high. If we take the Asia high, we're going to be aiming for the Asia low. You can't just buy straight away whenever it takes the Asia low because it's not going to reverse every single time. There's certain things you need to look for as confirmations, and I personally use these two. We have got an inversion fair value gap and we have got change of characters. So the first one, an inversion fair value gap, we look for this on the 5 minute or 15 minute time frame. We wait for a fair value gap to form. If we take the Asia low, we're waiting for a bearish fair value gap to form, and then we're waiting for it to be inverted, therefore disrespecting bearish order flow, and we're looking at market flipping, and we use that to buy up to where the Asia high. Now this is going to be the one you use most often. The other one we use is a change of character, and we can use this as low as we want. I go down to the 1 minute for this. Now with looking at a change of character, you're going to get a lot better RR most times. And for those of you that don't know what it is, it's really basic. It's just a break of structure, but against the current trend. So if we're moving in a bearish trend, breaking lows, then we're going to look for it to actually break the high, therefore disrespecting order flow, and we're going to look for buyers. This is the exact same strategy I told you last week. Let's see how it would have played out this week in the markets. So we're going to be trading GU. Obviously 7 AM to 10 AM is the only times where we're going to be taking trades. Now when we pull up the chart in the morning, of course we're not going to do anything until we take either the Asia high or the Asia low. You can see here at 9:20 we've taken the Asia low. So we're going to be looking for reversals up to that Asia high. So this is where you want to start marking out your fair value gaps and your highs and lows in order to find your change of characters. So if you're looking for change of characters, you go on the 1 minute time frame, mark out the current swing high and the current swing low. So obviously we're looking for this movement here in order to disrespect that bearish order flow. Alternatively, we have a bearish 5 minute fair value gap here that we can look to be inverted. So let's play out price and see what it does. As you can see here, we've actually done both of the things we'd want. So we've had a change of character and we've also inverted this 5 minute fair value gap. So what we'll be doing now is we'll be placing our buy on here and be looking to buy up to that Asia high. However, if you look at the time, you can see the time is 10 AM and we're very strict with this strategy. We only trade within those specific times as we know that is when the best moves are going to come. So as hard as it may be on this day, I would leave it and say, okay, it's too late, no trades for today. So now moving on to Tuesday, let's draw on our Asia low and our Asia high. At this point here, you can see we have taken the Asia low and we have made a bearish 5 minute fair value gap. The swing high is up here and the swing low is down here. But as you can see, price just rallies up, fills that bearish fair value gap and moves to the downside. So all we're going to do is wait for another bearish fair value gap to form. As you can see, one forms right there, just as it took that swing low, and we've got a swing high here and a swing low there. As you can see in the very next candle, we do disrespect that fair value gap. So that means we are valid for our entry. We're going to put our entry on that 50% of the fair value gap we just inverted. We're going to have our stop loss at the low and our TP, of course, at the Asia high. However, this trade did end up tapping in and going straight to stop loss, which is fine. On to the next. You can see again, straight after we did invert that fair value gap, we have another one form on the 5 minute. So we're waiting for that one to be disrespected in order to get another entry. You can see here, we did end up disrespecting that fair value gap. But if you look at the time, it's 10 o'clock, so we will not take the trade. Now this takes us to Wednesday where we take the Asia low right away and we have a 5 minute fair value gap here. And if we go down to the 1 or 2 minute, a swing high here and a swing low there. As you can see, straight away we get a really nice reaction from price, giving us a change of character. If you look on the 5 minute, however, we didn't end up closing above that 5 minute fair value gap. So we're going to go back down onto the 2 minute to look for our entry. I'm now going to draw on my Fibonacci, splitting the range up into the discount and the premium. I'm only looking at buying from POIs in the discount area. Therefore, I'm going to pick out this bullish order block here and use that for my entry. Of course, we have the stop loss on the low and the TP at the Asia high every single time. This trade taps in pretty soon after and ran straight to TP, giving us a nice 5.7 RR for the week, putting us at a plus 4.7 RR overall. If you notice as well, if you was just trading off the fair value gaps, then we would have got inverted right here and you could have got your entry on 50% there, your stop loss at the low, your TP at the high, it would have tapped in and ran TP. However, the RR would have been a lot lower. So in this scenario, the change of character on the lower time frame really did save us. Now that takes us through to Thursday where we take the Asia low right here and we do form a bearish fair value gap. So we're waiting for this to be inverted and we're going to get in our longs to the Asia high. So as you can see here, we did close above. So our entry is going to go on 50% our stop loss on the low, and our TP on the high. This trade, as you can see, ended up going straight to stop loss. However, if we notice, in the process of hitting stop loss, we do end up making another bearish 5-minute fair value gap. So again, we're going to draw that on and wait for it to be inverted. As you can see, about half an hour later, we do end up having a nice bullish candle, which inverts this 5-minute fair value gap, therefore flipping order flow to bullish, giving us our clear entry for TPs at Asia high. We put our entry on 50%, our stop loss on the low, and our TP on the high. This gives us an RR of 2.5, and as you can see, price ran straight to TP. So after that loss and win just then, that puts us about 6.1 RR up for the week with 4 trades taken. All of these trades were caught live on TikTok and sent into my community. So make sure you drop a follow, as I do live trade every single weekday. Friday, we did take the Asia high and end up having a 5-minute inversion, but you can see it didn't occur until 11:30, way outside of our trading times. So that pretty much sums up the week. We are just over 6R in profit, and all you had to do was trade the exact same strategy I told you to trade last week. I'm again telling you to trade this exact same strategy next week. Are you going to listen this time, or are you going to wait for my video next week doing the exact same thing and you're kicking yourself again? If you want access to the indicator I used to automatically mark out the Asia, London and New York sessions, then comment indicator down below and I'll send it over to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Monday where I'll be live trading this exact strategy as I do every single weekday. Sweet.